How's it going, everybody? JP back at you once again with a brand new series. Actually, it's not so brand new considering we did do it once before, but that was more of a test run, and now this is the official start, I guess. It was called A Closer Look At. We looked at Halloween the 35th Anniversary Edition. We reviewed it from top to bottom, dissected it completely, the artwork, the presentation, the film itself, special features, and the video quality. That's what we're going to be doing again, but this time I had a better idea. Since Scream Factory is my favorite company out there that puts out awesome horror Blu-ray and DVD releases, I figured why not start from their very first release and work our way up and talk about every single release they've ever done and completely dedicate a whole video to talking about everything that edition has to offer. So we're going to start with the very first release from Scream Factory, Halloween 2, and we're going to have a closer look at it right now. Now we're going to take a look at the presentation of the release. Basically, you know, the packaging, the contents of the release, and overall just how it's presented to us. So right away it does come with a slipcover, which Scream Factory adds that for all of their collector's editions, at least to my knowledge, and I really think it helps the collector's editions stand out from the just regular releases that they put out. The collector's editions have the slipcovers along with the case. It's kind of standard. You have the Halloween 2 Blu-ray with all the special features and stuff, and then you have the DVD, which is the television cut of the film. I do think they could have maybe switched up the artwork on the discs just to kind of spice it up a bit. And then on the inside you have reversible cover art. For presentation, I give Halloween 2 a 4.5 out of 5. There's really not much lacking here. You have the slipcover and the decision to create reversible cover art that I really think kind of takes Scream Factory's releases, their collector's editions. You know, they go the extra mile to please the fans and really kind of elevate the release to the next level. For a standard keepcakes edition, there's not much missing here. Maybe a insert or a little booklet or something would have made it a 5 out of 5. But the inclusion of the TV cut is an awesome addition to this release, and overall it's just very satisfying in terms of packaging and presentation and content. Now we're going to take a look at artwork, and this is the art that was created specifically for this release, brand new, and I gotta say I really like it. I love the towering, iconic image of Myers with the blood tears. The blood tears are so iconic in Halloween 2. It's definitely the best image to kind of put as your main image. And then underneath you have the main characters, Michael Myers with the scalpel. I love that image also. Maybe a better headshot of Jamie Lee Curtis and Sam Loomis could have worked a little better, but overall I gotta say I really like this the choice of keeping it pretty simple for their first release under the Scream Factory label. And then we have the pumpkin skull Halloween 2 art, the original art. I gotta say I'm not the biggest fan of this art. I think that a lot of the other releases, such as Halloween 3, I prefer the artwork in that. This one just, I'm not a huge fan of it, but I'm definitely glad it was included. Then you have, for the discs, it's pretty much just the pumpkin skull once again. I really wish they would have switched it up. Maybe put the new art on this disc and the pumpkin skull on that one. I think would have definitely been a nice addition. But overall, very satisfying. Artwork gets a 4 out of 5. Now we're going to move on to the special features. And this release, of course, comes with the theatrical cut on Blu-ray, but it also comes with a DVD of the TV cut. And I found this really interesting because there's different footage and stuff swapped around, and there's more character development and, you know, longer extended scenes, different scenes altogether. It really is kind of interesting. Now, you're not going to reach for it all the time, or you're not going to prefer it over the theatrical cut, but it's a nice addition, and I really think it kind of, you know, takes it a notch or two up, you know, this release just by having the TV cut there. It's pretty cool. And then we move on to the audio commentary by director Rick Rosenthal and actor Leo Rossi. Now, I found this commentary to be extremely boring. There was long periods of silence. It mainly felt like you was just watching the film with them, and they were kind of there just watching it more than talking about it. So I was really disappointed in this commentary. It's one of the worst commentaries I ever listened to. Nothing against the people involved in the commentary. I think they're great. I think they've all had great interviews in the past. This commentary just, however, does not live up to anything you expect for entertainment-wise. Then we move on to the audio commentary with actor, stunt coordinator Dick Warlock, who also, you know, played Michael Myers. This commentary was really, really good. There was also kind of a moderator in the commentary. I don't know the name, but I thought it was, you know, very genuine. I found that Dick Warlock was a very, very likable person. Him kind of reminiscing on the time he had as Michael Myers, and he talks about how he decided to play Michael Myers, and it really is just an entertaining commentary, much, much better than the first commentary, and definitely way more pleasurable to sit through. After that, we have The Nightmare Isn't Over, the making of Halloween 2, featuring interviews with, you know, tons of people. This was really cool. It was a documentary pretty much on the making of Halloween 2. I think it ran over a half hour long. I was entertained the whole way through. Definitely a cool documentary. I didn't necessarily learn things that I didn't know before, but I mean, how much more can I really learn about the Halloween series? It's been talked about to death. I think it's definitely worth watching, though. After that, we have Horror's Hallowed Grounds with Sean Clark. This is the locations of Halloween 2, and in my opinion, this is the highlight of the special features. Very, very, very entertaining. I love Horror's Hallowed Grounds. I wish they would do them on every single release, because Sean Clark really, it's just, you're in wonder and amazement while you're watching it. It's just so cool to see the locations today and how it fades between the old locations in the film and the new ones. It really is just an amazing special feature. I wish everybody would, I wish there would be more Horror's Hallowed Grounds on every single release. I love that special feature so much. It's very entertaining. After that, we have deleted scenes with commentary, optional commentary by Rick Rosenthal. Nothing too cool there. I mean, stuff that was in the TV cut and things. The commentary is, you know, mostly just Rick Rosenthal explaining why the scene, you know, why the scene wasn't included. Then you have the alternate ending with him, also with optional commentary. Once again, pretty standard stuff there. You have the theatrical trailer, which I think every release should include the theatrical trailer. It's a shame if it doesn't. TV spots, those are kind of fun. Radio spots, not so much. It's kind of fun reliving that, like, nostalgic, like, how were they marketing it at this time and stuff, but that's about it. Then you have still galleries, which are exactly that. They're still galleries. Not much entertainment there. For special features, Halloween 2 gets a 4.5 out of 5. Almost a 5. That one commentary kind of hurts it, but Horror's Hallowed Grounds and the TV cut and the documentary, all was really fun. Halloween 2 from the year 1981 with the tagline of "More of the Night He Came Home." This film, of course, was written by John Carpenter, directed by Rick Rosenthal. This is one of those rare films that pick up right after the first film. It's one of those rare sequels, I should say, that pick up after the first film. You know, you got Phantasm 2, 3, 4 does that. The Hatchet films does that. And, of course, Halloween 2 does that. It's such a great idea to pick your sequel up right after the first film. It instantly gets you engaged. It's always an A+ in my book when a horror film does that. Starts off great. Laurie Strode is on her way to Haddonfield Memorial Hospital. Sam Loomis and Sheriff Brackett are on the hunt for Michael Myers because he is missing. He is no longer where his body was. He's still moving around after being shot 6 or 7 times. They don't know where the hell he is. They need to find him. He, of course, has an agenda. We find out more about that later. It does get into that, you know, sequel-ish territory where it seems a little too convenient for things that wasn't brought up in the first film, but hey, it's a sequel. You got to suspend your disbelief a little bit and, you know, buy into it. And if you do, you'll have a great time because Halloween 2 is a fantastic sequel. There are a few minor things that kind of annoy me. Michael Myers moving a bit too slow sometimes. Just I can take the slowness, but at certain times, I think of in the hospital in the basement, he's just moving at a creeping pace, and it's way too slow. Laurie Strode, some people bitch about her being in a catatonic, comatose type state the whole film. It doesn't bother me. It seems natural. It seems like what she should be doing. I'm good with that. It's all good in my book. One of my all-time favorite Halloween kill is in this film. It's the hot tub scene. It actually gets under my skin and makes me feel a bit uncomfortable when I see the skin burning. It's a terrible thought of you know, dying that way. Drowning on burning, scalding hot water does not sound fun at all. Halloween 2, the hospital was dark as hell. Come on, what is going on in this hospital? That always kind of weirded me out. Like, why is this hospital so dark? Once again, it's a horror film. You gotta suspend your disbelief a little bit. I love the scene where the kid gets smashed by the car and blows up. I laugh every time I see that. Overall, just a very fun sequel. And if you're into the Halloween series, the first two films back to back is just such a great way to end the Halloween series. It did continue on, which I'm fine with, but if you take Halloween 1 and 2 and watch them together, they work so well together. Great ending, great all-around performance. Sam Loomis, we didn't even talk about Sam Loomis. Donald Pleasance as Sam Loomis has got to be one of the greatest horror characters of all time. He is so fun to watch. Everything he says, it's so classy and just it's poetic. Some of the stuff he says, it really is brilliant. I love the dialogue from Sam Loomis all the time, all throughout the series. Halloween 2, I give it an 8.5 out of 10. It really is one of my favorite sequels. Halloween 2, I give a 4 out of 5 for audio and video quality. Not much wrong with it. Definitely an awesome transfer. In terms of HD and picture quality, it's definitely going to be the best way to see Halloween 2. It's the best release edition out there in terms of picture quality. And now is the time where I either highly recommend this, or skip it altogether. And I gotta say, Scream Factory's release of Halloween 2, I highly recommend. If you're a Halloween fan, you have to have this, especially if you're a Halloween 2 fan. It's an awesome release, top to bottom. There's only a few minor things that aren't up to par, and that's mainly the commentary, but overall, you gotta grab this release. So that's about it for this edition of A Closer Look At. Next time we'll be talking about Halloween 3, which is Scream Factory's second release. Can't wait to talk about that one. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.